Putin last month, once he took oath as the Russian president again, visited China for his first visit abroad. So many people in the international press, especially the Western press, are increasingly saying that Russia is becoming a junior partner to China, since China's economy is about 10 times bigger. So, what is your opinion about that?
I think it's again a very common narrative, and there are even some Russian experts who are now part of the Western think tanks. They don't no longer live in Russia, who kind of exploit that idea. See, Russia and China have to be friends because they share a border. They cover the major part of the continent, so they have to have relationship. If you look throughout the history, I'm not a China expert as such, but if you look at the history of the past 2 centuries, it has been complicated. It had its ups and downs, but in today's world of alliances and almost revived Cold War, it's just a natural partnership, and the West is doing, much more from its perspective to make it happen. As some of the um, scholars said, the West is pushing Russia into China's hands. Um, Whether it's good or not, now that's something we will see in many years to come. But China and India, two Asian, China has already emerged, India is emerging superpower of the region at least, or maybe globally in few years to come. They're the biggest customers for Russian resources. I think Russia understands its dependence on exports of natural resources very well, and it is slowly trying to diversify. That doesn't happen immediately, and of course, being right now entangled into this conflict slows down that process. But if Russia could use, and that's exactly what I believe, the West, which is trying to diminish and destroy Russia military and economically, and that's what, in my opinion, the entire Ukraine conflict is about. The Western attempt to just, destroy Russia and also politically probably break it apart. But um, if you see um, y- if you see the way Russian economy is trying to work it out, uh, I think China would be a very important partner for in terms of technologies, in terms of Russia, India, and few other countries. Would be very important technological partners. So I think this is what we are going to see looking forward.
So, one last question before we end. You know India Russia relations very well since you have worked in Mumbai as well. So, Prime Minister Modi won a third term. So, what do you think is the current state of the India Russia relations? And I want to ask you about the annual India Russia summits that take place as well. They have not been taking place for the past 2 years, if according to my knowledge. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So, yeah, what what's your take on the India Russia relationship?
Uh, I've covered the India-Russian relationship for the past 15 years, and these are really kind of golden times for the relationship because the kind of trade activity that we have seen in the past 2 years, we've never seen anything like that. The Russia-India trade used to be around $10 billion annually. It is now much more than 60. If we take the last financial year, um, what is important? Yes, while trade have risen based on the hydrocarbon exports from Russia to India, and for India, it provides a, a good, opportunity for growing its own economy, and that's what the government. has been really insisting on that because trade and friendship with Russia is again something that West doesn't like about India. It's a continuous scrutiny of every move, every agreement, and not only in public. As I know from my sources, it's a lot more is happening kind of in through diplomatic and trade channels, including threats to the companies from India who are trying to partner with Russia. Russia and India are also, natural kind of partners, and I think that's what diplomats always say: trusted partner. Now, you can dismiss that statement as a common man. You can dismiss that what is trusted, just one of those PR words that diplomats used, but it's not because when we say trusted or tested, we appeal to facts. It's not just a word thrown in the air. Russia has never done any move against India at the UN level or any other military level, and the same way, India has not done any move diplomatically, economically against Russia. So I think that matters because when you compare uh, India's relationship with, let's say, US, you see that despite the understanding that there needs to be, expansion of ties and trade and everything, there are so many issues. From right now, okay, Khalistan issue is burning, but there were many more other moves in history, the India nuclear test and so on, which do not allow India trust a partner like US. Um, so I think Russia-India relations will survive whatever turbulence is there, if we can call it a turbulence. The world is in turbulence. That's what it is. Because and I laud India's position and the way India's diplomacy works for how accurately it can maintain that balance, be remaining friends and partners with Russia and remaining friends and partners with the West, because that's in India's interest, and that's very clear. And I hope it will continue to do so even with the new government. We see that the key people in the new government are have retained their post. Again, we don't know how far the coalition government can go. Of course, there are some concerns regarding that. That remains to be seen. That rest is speculation. But I think India's foreign policy will remain the same because it has always remained such that it will take Indian people's interests and needs in the center of it, and that's what is important.
Well, Senior, that was an interesting conversation. It was great to have you once back again. And I look forward to having an interesting conversation once again when the time permits. So, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. All the best.
Yeah, thank you.